You know, the first thing that I like the confidence of my friends. It's what some authors call the confidence of a fool. Because if you look at it, if they are so confident that William Ruto will win a second term to do what? Because if what he was elected to do in the first term is not achieved, Kenyans are angrier today than they were last year. There are more and more Kenyans who are out of school, are not able to afford school fees. Health challenges are facing the people of Kenya. Today, look at the headlines of the Nation, of the Standard, is telling you about University of Nairobi going down. Moi University yesterday declared over 800 redundancies. That is where this Cheregei comes from. Over 800 people, next its neighboring constituents. 800 people declared redundant because Moi University is insolvent. Egerton University, same financial challenges. Tuke University, financial challenges. That is the status of the education sector in this country. TSC is telling us here they are not able to hire 98,000 teachers because there is no money. They are taking illegal debts. So in terms of what a president is elected to do, two major things, the economy and security. On the economy, you can all see the collapse. On security, the president himself admitted that now he has stopped abductions and he has released all the abductees to their families. So he's failed on the terms of reference. And that is why Kenyans are going to vote him out. They've decided it's a one term. So what is he seeking a second term for? To do what? If that which he was elected to, he's in office now, today as we speak. If he had something to do, he could have done it now. Don't wait to do it next year, next election. But legacy politicians are about contestations. They even forget why they're elected to that office in the first place. Because if you know why you're elected to a particular office, you'll do that which you are elected to do.
Mtazamaji, nina swali ya kuuliza kwamba ni nani ana makosa kati ya hawa watu ambao hao watu wa William Ruto ambao wanapewa nafasi kwenye national TVs, wanajigamba, wanapiga vifua kila wakati, ama ni watu ambao wanawahost? That is my question. My question is this: who has the problem, or who is the cause of the problem? Is it the person that is offering these people platforms, maybe to chase time, or these guys that are going on national TV? Because unakuja unapata kwamba hawa watu kila wakati wakienda kwa national TV wanajipiga kifua, wanasema kwamba mara William Ruto amefanya hivi, William Ruto amefanya, ila hali sisi wenyewe twajua vizuri ya kwamba hakuna chochote ambacho William Ruto amekifanya kizuri ambacho sisi kama wananchi twaweza tukafurahia. Mtazamaji, hilo ndio jambo ambalo ningependa kulizungumzia kwa sababu leo asubuhi kwenye Citizen Daybreak, Trevor Mbija alikuwa na wageni wanne. Alikuwa na Nyamita, alikuwa na Cheregei, alikuwa na Willis pamoja na Ondiek. Mtazamaji, hilo ndio jambo ambalo ningependa kulizungumzia, lakini kabla ya hapo ningeomba, ikiwa tunakutana kwa mara ya kwanza, chukua sekunde yako moja ama zako mbili, uenda hapo chini ukabonyeza alama ya subscription, ili wakati wote kuna ujumbe ambao nimeweka mtazamaji na kwa virahisi sana kwako kuupata. Vile vile ningependa kusema shukrani za dhati sana kwa wale watu ambao tayari washaungana na familia hii, kwa sababu bila shaka bila support yako mtazamaji, channel zika kuwa pale ambapo imekuwa na hatuwezi tukafika pale ambapo tumefika. Ningependa ikiwezekana mtazamaji, by mwezi ukiisha, ama hapo mwezi wa sita, hapo tukianza mwezi wa sita tuwe tumefikisha 10,000 na mambo itakuwa sawa. Tukirudi kwenye mjadala mtazamaji, ningependa kusema hivi ya kwamba Ondiek pamoja na Willis ni watu ambao nawajua. Ni kwa sababu nimeinteract nao nikiwa kwa one of these media houses, nimeinteract nao. Lakini hawa watu wawili, hawa Nyamita pamoja na Cheregei, wanawaona tu na watazama, lakini nimekuja nikagundua kitu kimoja, ya kwamba hakuna kitu kigumu sana kama kujaribu kumdefend William Ruto. Because itabidi uangalie njia, itabidi uangalie story ambayo itabidi ucreate story ya utengeneza tu story ili ionekane kwamba wewe uko pamoja na William Ruto. Cheregei Willis anasema vizuri hapa kwamba Cheregei kila wakati anaimba kwamba Ruto is working, William Ruto wara William Samoei Ruto, William Ruto amepea John Mbadi treasury, kwamba John Mbadi is a Luo na amepewa CS of treasury. So inamaanisha kwamba watu wa Luo Nyanza wana benefit. Na nilikuja nikauliza hapa ya kwamba kwa nini hao watu wanasema kwamba wamepea Luo Nyanza nafasi ya treasury, so Luo Nyanza kila wakati watakuwa wanapata pesa, kitu ambacho ni cha uongo sana. Jana tumeona kuna mama mmoja, niliusia uchungu sana mtazamaji. Huyu mama ameenda kulipa karo ya shule. Na I think Willis pia amelizungumzia. Huyu mama ameenda kulipa karo ya shule na ameenda na kuku. Kisa na maana hana hela, hana pesa kabisa, na anatoka Nyanza. Hana school fees. So the only way that this grandmom could have paid school fees ni kuenda na kuku na apelekee principal, nimwambie kwamba mimi sina pesa lakini nimeleta kuku. And we've seen this several times. Tumeona hili jambo likifanyika several times. Mzazi akienda na kuku, mzazi anaenda na ng'ombe, mzazi anaenda na zwiri. Kuna wakati niliona mzazi akienda na mayai. Hizi vitu zinafanyika mtazamaji, na hao watu wanaona ni kana kwamba wale watu ambao wamelelewa kwa utajiri, ama wale watu ambao wamelelewa watu ambao wamepata pesa, they don't understand. There are a lot of things that these guys don't understand. They can't understand. But sisi ambao tumelelewa kwa ile maisha ya chini, tunaelewa haya mambo yanafanyika. Wazazi wetu walikuwa unapata mzazi anaenda na gorogoro 2, 3 ama 5. Ameenda kulipa school fees.
Yeah. Willis, what is your concern with the listing of the sugar mills?
Let me respond to these legacy politicians. They're very interesting. When we say...
You think back in the Cheregei,
these are legacy politicians. We are used to their talk. But the most important thing about the sugar factory leasing, they are claiming here that the debts were retired. Just do as the Business Daily yesterday. Put here, Sony Sugar farmers are up in arms over pending 319 million owed to them. I'm a sugar farmer. I supply to Chemelil, Moroni and Kibos. And I can tell you I'm owed more than 5 million from those companies. Leave Kibos alone. Let's now speak to Chemelil. So if they are claiming that they've settled the farmers' debts, I will be a rich man today. I'm not. Some of my debts are falling back over 5 years ago, not been paid. But the legacy politicians don't want to discuss the key issue that I'm talking about. The issue I'm talking about is the manner in which you leased out this asset. When you give somebody a 30-year lease, the person is almost 60-something, 68, 70. He's bought it for his life. And where is the interest of the farmer? Why didn't you come up with a model? And he asked us about solutions. Why didn't you come up with a model in which you say the farmers who are the owners of the local nucleus also have a buy-in, have some level of ownership? Do, for example, a rights issue. Say the strategic investor takes 30%, the farmers take 30%, the government takes 30%, and the rest you open up to the rest of the country so that we all get ownership. Sugar is a product that is consumed every morning in every Kenyan household. Why give it to an individual and not come up with a model that incorporates even the farmers, those who've sacrificed for this? The second thing I want to say, when I listen to Cheregei speak, he keeps talking about that we've given your son CS Treasury, we've given your son CG First CDF. Please, you've not given anybody's son those positions. Yesterday, in Otieno Secondary School, there was a poor grandmother. Otieno is just next to Mbadi's home. It's in Homa Bay, but Mbadi's home is in Migori, in same Homa Bay, where Mbadi comes from the CS Treasury. That grandmother was sitting in Otieno Mixed Secondary School trying to sell 5 chicken to offer to the principal as school fees for her children. So what is the benefit of that, what you claim to be CS Treasury is given to Jaluo, and yet the common man on the street, the common Jaluo on the street, is struggling to even pay school fees to feed herself. She had to carry 5 live chicken to school as school fees. And here they are telling you, now Jaluos should celebrate, we are now in government. When Mark Nyamita, a legacy politician, talks about that this is the first time that laws are being given positions in government, this is the first time that we have roads. No, please, let me say this.
He spoke about roads in his area.
Roads in his area. I'm coming to that. We talk about roads in his area. Let's go to Oruba in Migori, where he comes from. Go to Rapogi, the roads he's talking about. Which are these roads that are being done?
Jambo lingine, Cheregei anajaribu kusema ya kwamba people complain. Watu wana complain mara William Ruto, ila hali yale mambo ambayo William Ruto amefanya kwa miaka 2.5 imeshinda kile ambacho Kibaki alifanya kwa miaka 10.
But even if the president comes from our region, is the president of Kenya. He must sit in the principle of equity, and I'm embarrassed that Willis is saying because Mbadi comes and there was a woman, and I know Mark, we can after this maybe contribute a few money to alleviate that issue of fees, that since Mbadi comes from that region, no one should be poor. But Mbadi sits where he applies the principle of equity, just like the president. He must say in Migori, there must be a tarmac. In Nandi, there must be. Even in Kisumu, I know yourself, you cannot access your house. We must look and say, where does Trevor comes from? He must access his house. We must get a road to his house. Ondiek, the same thing. And I want to encourage the Ondiek to be name and shame, because he looks like he fears this monarch. He cannot tell us the name saying, I'm not a toddler to be told.
Seriously, does it make sense? So, yale mambo ambayo Kibaki alifanya kwa miaka 10, wakati ambapo alikuwa rais. Tukijaribu kucompare na kile ambacho William Ruto amefanya sasa, unakuja unapata kwamba William Ruto amefanya kubwa sana, amefanya mingi zaidi, amefanya better than Kibaki. Na unasikia bado anazidi kusema kwamba William Ruto second term is just around the corner.
The second term is sure because under SHA, every day 70,000 Kenyans are registered under SHA.
You say
we are closing.
Sure. You say it's a sure shot.
It's a sure bet.
Yeah.
Like a cock sure, not hen sure, like a cock sure.
How?
That is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Look,
your side of the divide has been accused of making that chest thumping statement.
No, we are not just thumping. He is asking how can second term be sure without doing what the president was elected. And I'm saying our manifesto, these are the things that we had promised Kenyans. And one of them is the universal health coverage, like social health insurance. Over 22 million Kenyans have now registered under SHA. The same people who are telling Kenyans SHA is not working, Kenyans have realized that it is only the confidence of the fools that these guys do not allow us to register. They are now registering 70,000 per day. And SHA is working. They have changed the narrative from SHA is not working to say it's working in other areas, but it's not working. And that is why I agree there could be challenges of human resources like universal health coverage. And we have agreed that the National Assembly should at least, and Senate, we are already under Division of Revenue, to ring-fence around 2 billion as conditional grants to ensure that universal health coverage staff are confirmed under PNP. On the issue of CBC, the CBC, the people like Matiang'i and Uhuru Kenyatta left in a mess. Now the president is trying to fix. You remember, was it grade 7, 8, and 9? They were supposed to go to junior secondary school to be transited. We are now building over 15,000 classrooms, courtesy of NGCDF, and across even in this city where the primary schools in this city have been given 1 billion to implement the CBE, which was a big challenge. I agree the university funding model has a problem. But the solution, the problem that the university higher education is a cancer that we are trying to fix. And when the university funding model was supposed to be brought, the same people rushed to court to block it.
Okay.
And in fact, that is why even we were saying, allow us to fix the universal, not university funding model for the benefit of Kenyans. These are the same people, when a government comes to the program, they rush to court, and the government must obey some of these court orders because it is their right to challenge. And finally, because he was asking why President William Ruto's, second term is a sure bet. Even markets. Now, Mama Mboga and business people will have a place of dignify that they can do their businesses.
Okay.
Even in areas, even for now, even in Mark Nyamita's constituency, they now have an ultra-modern market that cannot be constructed by counties. But President William Ruto is supplementing on the position on.
And it is confirmed that William Ruto, William Ruto second term, anaenda kuchaguliwa. Nani anaenda kumchagua? Unasikia anasema kwamba watu 70 already washa register SHA. Watu 70,000 kwani Kenya tuko watu wangapi? Kenya si tuko over 50 million. So take 70,000, take 70,000 out from 50 million. Unakuja unapata ngapi? Bado unakuja unapata 79 million 30,000. Yeah. Hata si 30,000. More than that. It is 79 million plus. It is 79 million 930,000. Yeah. 79 million 930,000. Hao ndio watu bado ambao hawajarisa SHA. And then anatuambia kwamba hao watu wengine watamchagua Ruto. Wapi? Ukituambia kwamba utamchagua Ruto ati kwa sababu sijui mama nimesikia akisema kwamba CBC ati Fred Matiang'i aliacha sijui CBC. Kati ya Fred Matiang'i na Magoha nani alianzia hii issue ya CBC? Unajua hapo nimechanganyikiwa kidogo. Kati ya Fred Matiang'i na Magoha nani alianzia mambo na CBC? Kwa sababu mimi kwa yangu najua kwamba mtu ambaye alianzia CBC alikuwa Magoha, afu akaja akafa. So baada ya kufa kwake watu wakachanganyikiwa because they didn't know where to start and where to end.
Because you also respond to this, and I keep asking everyone who shifts allegiances in this show that at what point was the Damascus moment? Because when I last spoke to you, you were the UDA coordinator, Homa Bay. Now you're the chairman, Progress Plus Alliance, and you say UDA has failed. At what point did you realize this?
Trevor, I will answer you, and my timekeeper, secret timekeeper, is telling me you give too much time to the defenders of a failed state instead of giving equal time so that Kenyans can listen well. Because I can tell you, you have given too much time to Cheregei to just say nothing. Because the truth he knows, that Kenyans are complaining, and even the young people who are delaying him.
State looks like.
No, let him finish.
We should invite him.
Whenever you say anything that irks me, I keep quiet. I expect you to have that decorum, and I don't need to teach you about that on a national television. What I'm telling you, Trevor, is that I respect Mheshimiwa Nyamita for one thing. He has accepted the simple fact that we have had a long era of bad politics. We have had a long era of bad politics, and that answers my question, or your question as to why I shifted allegiance. I want to take you back, and Mheshimiwa Nyamita will confirm this, that when I got tired of the bad politics he's talking about, I tried to team up with Governor Kotobado so that we come up with PDP as a political party, so that we can open up the region where that bad politics has been thriving. What happened is that the mastermind and the choir master of that particular bad politics ensured that PDP was not registered when it ended up not even fielding a candidate. Not allegation, it's a fact. Number two, when I remained partyless, I'm answering the question, and it's for the national consumption. When we joined the government, Mheshimiwa Nyamita, together with Jalango, Professor Jenda, Elisha Kuba, and the other members of parliament, decided to go and change the state of politics in our country. They went and sat with the president at his election. And they said that they are going to plan development. Today I see Gladys Wanga, for example, listing so many things being done in Homa Bay and claims that she lobbied them. When she knows that those things were done by Nyamita and his friends when they were still having sufurias on their heads. So that is the kind of politics we have had. So I chose to work with Nyamita and Dr. Raymond Omolo and the rest, so that we could democratize Nyanza. UDA could come in. And when the master of political thuggery realized that UDA was having onslaught in Nyanza, he jumped into the Gen Z's movement and hijacked the president. Today, as we speak, Raila Odinga has hijacked President William Ruto. And that is what William Ruto thinks. Through people like Cheregei, that he is going to win a second term simply because he's because he's together with Raila Odinga. I'm telling you, Raila Odinga will leave you at the right time. And I'm telling you that what the second term you are talking about, unless you kill people at Bomas, is when you are going to get that second term. That's said and done. I want to tell you, Trevor, that when we talk about the debts, so that answers you why I have left UDA, because when Raila and his friends have hijacked the president, it means the democratization of Nyanza, which I was working for, cannot succeed with him, because you have even seen Gladys Wanga and the rest declaring Nyanza region ODM region. So, meaning that those who want to democratize Nyanza like myself cannot have any space inside their arrangement, which is now UDA ODM. Now I have to find a vehicle that can democratize. My ambition is one. Nyanza must be free from the monarchical leadership of the political bad-mannered person who has ensured that we are not in government. He doesn't want to get into government.
Name the person.
And we also don't get into government. Unless you are a toddler, then you must ask for an answer to the person I'm talking about. I believe you're not. One thing I want to add, as you allow me to conclude on that my matter. The lease, as I talked about, when they talked about offloading the debts, that was a calculated move so that they offload those debts, so that when they come in to take through their proxies, of the proxies called Raju and Bire, they wanted free environment. But what is at risk in those leases, which I want Cheregei to know, that land issue is the biggest thing, and we know the land baron in this country. who has realized that the other lands are already taken by other people and they cannot grab them. They are now looking for the nucleus of these sugar companies. They want the 22,000 acres of land in Muhoroni and Chemelil. They want the 2,400 acres of land in Sony. They want those lands because we know the biggest land grabber in this country. And I also don't need to be asked a name for that. So, you know, he's very sure. He doesn't need to ask me for that name. The simple truth is this. When you talk about a second term being assured, I want to remind all Kenyans that we are in a Republican democratic system where you get opportunity to serve within a period of time, within the satisfaction of the people, subject of which they will go to the vote. If you don't interfere with the voting of this country, Kenyans will vote anyone. They will not even vote the Gachagwas. They will not vote William Ruto. They will vote an individual. And I'm telling you, don't be worried about who is going to remove President William Ruto. President William Ruto is not going to be removed by a political balkanization. He's not going to be removed by a political group. He's going to be removed by a visionary, reignited Kenyans who still believe in the aspiration of Kenya. Aspiration of Kenya is this: have a country where each and everyone is having his dignity as provided in Article 28, and that each Kenyan can feel that they are members of this country and not settlers. It is so sad, Trevor, that this is the country where a family owns a whole county, yet we talk about squatters. Okay. How do you talk about squatters when one family of persons who are also staying abroad are controlling a half of Eldoret town, Cheregei? Okay. There's a family holding a half of Eldoret town, and you go to Eldoret and you find them still being taken to court because they are settlers. The Makto family, do you want me to name people? Okay. Let me tell you. The Makto family is holding a half of Eldoret. Okay. The Biwot family is holding a half of Eldoret, and then you are telling me here that there are some squatters next to Eldoret town. And you are here a senator of that region, and those people are squatters in their own country, where one family of people who are staying abroad don't even know the land titles of those regions. All right. And they are still there. Yeah. I want to conclude, my brother. It pains sometimes when you see a person at the level who is supposed to be a legislator, who is supposed to fight for Kenyans, who is supposed to talk for Kenyans, who after they have even ended up within only 2 years in a government which has failed terribly to have 3 or 4 reshuffles, and you still come on television to confirm that you will still go back. You want to go back, you are almost doing another reshuffle, because even the people you took in, some have confirmed, like ICT department is being headed by somebody who doesn't even know how Twitter and X operates. It's very sad in this country when we have young people with sharp brains who can do that thing. Okay. It is not just about being on the chair. It's about ensuring that that chair on which you sit makes better the life of Kenyans. All right. That's all.
Willis anauliza kwamba why should Ruto be given second term? Swali nzuri sana.
On what basis are you declaring that President William Ruto will be a one-term president? And second, is it fair for the panel here to judge this party before it is launched and yet claiming that it is a regional party, but we know that is how parties are formed first and then they form a coalition?
You know, the first thing that I like the confidence of my friends. It's what some authors call the confidence of a fool. Because if you look at it, if they are so confident that William Ruto will win a second term to do what? Because if what he was elected to do in the first term is not achieved, Kenyans are angrier today than they were last year. There are more and more Kenyans who are out of school, are not able to afford school fees. Health challenges are facing the people of Kenya. Today, look at the headlines of the Nation, of the Standard, is telling you about University of Nairobi going down. Moi University yesterday declared over 800 redundancies. That is where this Cheregei comes from. Over 800 people, next is neighboring constituency. 800 people declared redundant because Moi University is insolvent. Egerton University, same financial challenges. Tuke University, financial challenges. That is the status of the education sector in this country. TSC is telling us here they are not able to hire 98,000 teachers because there is no money. They are taking illegal debts. So in terms of what a president is elected to do, 2 major things: the economy and security. On the economy, you can all see the collapse. On security, the president himself admitted that now he has stopped abductions and he has released all the abductees to their families. So he's failed on the terms of reference. And that is why Kenyans are going to vote him out. They've decided it's a one-term. So what is he seeking a second term for? To do what? If that which he was elected to is in office now, today as we speak, if he had something to do, he could have done it now. Don't wait to do it next year, next election. But legacy politicians are about contestations. They even forget why they're elected to that office in the first place. Because if you know why you're elected to a particular office, you'll do that which you are elected to do. And your track record, your performance will speak for you. But for them, being in office is about a contest. It's about, I'm going to defeat Gachagua, I'm going to defeat Wanjigi, I'm going to defeat Matiang'i, I'm going to defeat... You're not competing with individuals. You are competing with service delivery to the people of Kenya. These two cannot tell you what is it that William Ruto has done. Where Cheregei comes from...
We will
where Cheregei, don't heckle. Where Cheregei comes from, we have we have Chemelil Sugar that serves the outgrowers in his area. Just the other day, and Nyamita, where he comes from, we have Sony Sugar. Just the other day, we witnessed a very non-transparent, opaque manner in which the companies were transferred to certain investors without considering the input of the local community. Whereas those local communities are the ones who gave up the nucleus assets of those sugar factories. So why would you expect such kind of clandestine activities to be rewarded with a second term? To do what? To now go and sell Lake Victoria? To go and sell the Nandi T-zones? Yeah. To privateers? So he has failed on the assignment. And on the question of the coalition, I say this, it is Gachagua's right to form a political party. He has Article 38 rights in the Constitution. And in his political party, he can fashion it the way he desires. But I'm only saying that where I sit, I look at Gachagua's party and I look at Kenya Kwanza and UDA, the philosophy is the same. It is legacy politicians trying to create an opportunity for themselves. Okay. That is what these two gentlemen are used to. Okay. Let's create positions for ourselves, and we are in big offices. We are not forming political parties or coalitions that are about improving the lot of the people of Kenya.
Okay. Will this team be the team to liberate Kenyans or to change the landscape in the 2027 election?
You ask yourself, that team to liberate Kenya from what? Because the last I checked, there's no difference between Gachagua and William Ruto. And I say this with tremendous respect to Gachagua's right to form his party and to contest for political office. But we look at the formation that we have that is now being sold to the people of Kenya so far. We have on the one side the broad-based, which is Raila Odinga and William Ruto. On the other side, we have Gachagua, Martha Karua, and Matiang'i. In the last election, Raila Odinga was a presidential candidate. William Ruto was a presidential candidate. On the other side, we had Gachagua as a deputy running mate to William Ruto and Martha as a running mate to Raila Odinga. So what we have is the same thing. It's the same group. The presidents or the candidates for president have all gone to one side, and the deputies have gone on the other side. So when you talk about change, what change? There's no change there. If you want to continue the legacy politicians, that is legacy politics. The true opposition to this administration will come when we have a coalition of the people of Kenya, a coalition that is concerned about the common good of the people, not a coalition that is about setting up an opportunity for legacy politicians to get seats. Our problem today, our competition today, is not William Ruto. Kenyans have declared in one accord that William Ruto is one term. What we are now competing against is an opportunity to create a society that responds to the common good. We want to see a country that people form coalitions that are about changing the economic challenges that the people of Kenya are going through. Not one where you're just going to change the monkeys, but the forest remains the same. We have to get rid of all the monkeys and change that forest. A forest that will be about the common good, not creating positions for people who are occupying political offices.
Okay. Kwa nini Ruto anapaswa kupea nafasi nyingine mara ya pili? Ilhali ile nafasi ambayo ilipewa kwa mara ya kwanza hajakamilisha. Hajafanya chochote kile ambacho watu walikuwa wanatarajia ya kwamba anaweza kafanya nafasi ambayo ilipewa hajafanya. So kwa nini apewe term nyingine? Swali nzuri. Okay. Mnataka tumchague William Ruto. Watu kama kina John Mbadi, kina Oparanya, kina Cheregei, Cheruiyot, Wandai, mnataka tumchague William Ruto kwa mara nyingine. Swali nzuri, swali kuu ambalo tunapaswa kujiuliza ama kukuuliza ni kwamba ile nafasi ambayo amepewa mara ya kwanza amelifanyia nini? Anataka second term. So ile first term ambayo alipewa, what has he done with it? Nini ambacho amekifanya kizuri ya sisi kama wananchi kumpa second term? Kama kuna jambo ambalo amelifanya nzuri ambalo pengine mnaona kwamba amelifanya, basi bila shaka tutampa. Lakini kama hakuna, I don't think kama it is necessary. Jambo la mwisho, I think hii tutazungumzia kwenye video ambayo inafuata. Parties zinaundwa. Rigathi Gachagua kuna party, Matiang'i kuna party, Martha Karua yuko na party. Nani amebaki? Think Kalonzo ana party. So watu wanne already wana party kwa opposition. Kitu ambacho si kibaya. Na ni nzuri sana kuwa na party mingi, ndio hapo sasa mtakuja mnaangalia party gani inavuma. Tukumbuke pia tuko na Jubilee. So we have a lot of parties. Nani ana campaign na hatujui party yake ni gani. Peter Salasi ana campaign bado hatujui ana party yake ni gani, anaenda kuitaje. Yeye anataka kuwa rais. Unataka kuwa rais na hatujui party yako ni gani.
First of all it's unfortunate that most of these political parties are now regional or tribal. And whether they launch new political parties, I don't think they will unsettle President William Ruto. I think now it allows the president to cruise at the highest speed to the second term, because the opposition already fragmented. And you have seen the former deputy president telling Matiang'i to form his own Kisii political party, because even if they were fair, they would have even joined Jubilee party, which was national, which we left, or even Martha Karua's, it's called Liberation Party or something like that.
PLP, yes.
So, yes. So all these political parties are now going to default setting of tribal and regional politics, and it is very tragic because we are going back to discussing regional and tribal parties just to capture power, and this opposition will not be formidable coming in 2022, because from the look of things, Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa, Matiang'i and Gachagua, they will never settle on any given candidate to face President William Ruto in 2027 elections. So the new party will just add to a number of regional and tribal parties that will try and isolate the rest of the country against, because you look at the TNA URP in 2013, we did collapse and come up with Jubilee. Look at the United Democratic Alliance Party and even ODM. They have really tried to give the face of Kenya. And I think even when you look at political parties' laws, it should give the face of Kenya. But now many of these ladies and gentlemen are just reducing their own political parties to tribal, because they imagine they have numbers and they imagine that their communities will follow them based on the fact that they are forming tribal parties. So I think the launch of new political parties will have zero significance in the political landscape. It will join a long retinue of political parties that have been formed based on tribal, regional, bitterness, selfishness to capture power, that will not even go beyond the amount of the honor of those political parties. Because even if you will see the officials that will be launched today, you will notice most of them come from one region. And therefore it will not give the face that the country envisage in this. So this one, whether they do it by calling it one term, it will not happen, because nowadays we are saying 2 term. Because now it's clear for president now, because at the end of the day, Trevor, as I conclude, President William Ruto track record will allow him to, and the blessings and permission of Kenyans, to serve a second term. And from where I sit, and my brother Nyamita has put it very well, I don't think there is any formidable opposition as at now. They cannot even mount anything as at now.
All right.